In this constantly changing world, life and personal values can seem more than a little unstable. Just when you think you have it all figured out, then everything changes. Sometimes life can seem overwhelming. Well, the good news is you can change your life. You have within you the power to learn how to flow with the changes and smooth out the bumps of life. You can experience the joy, peace, health, and abundance you deserve. You were created to be happy and productive. That urge to grow and express yourself was put there for a reason. Learn the spiritual principles that can help you not just to survive, but thrive in this changing world. At Unity, we'd like to help you do just that.
Imagine a spiritual path that honors the universal truths in all religions, that sees we are all one. Imagine a movement that respects each person's right to choose their spiritual path. Imagine a spiritual movement that empowers and unites rather than divides. This is Unity. For more than a century, Unity has offered a positive, practical, and progressive approach to understanding and applying the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters.
Each and every person has inborn God-given powers. We can change our lives by learning to use these powers consciously and intentionally. The way we use or misuse these powers shapes our reality. Connect with your higher self. Connect with the divine.
Live out of your imagination, not your history.
Unity of Chicago South. Beyond Walls Spiritual Community. You are invited to a consciousness-lifting celebration. Streaming live 11 a.m. Sundays. Exclusively at unityocs.org.
Well, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you might be at this particular time. Welcome to Unity of Chicago South, Beyond Walls Spiritual Community. I'm Reverend R. Ken Turner, one of the ministers here to provide you with the food necessary to grow spiritually. Today is really kind of cool because it's a triple celebration day. We have Juneteenth, we have Father's Day, and we have, of course, the celebration and explanation of the imagination principle. Triple play. And we're going to do our best to make sure we touch on all of them in a quick manner. So all of you fathers that need to get out there to the grill, or who are out there at the grill, or preparing the meat to go on the grill or the vegetables, that you can do that. I want to thank those folks that have decided to financially support the work that we're doing. It's very important to us to spread the word and to help us spread the word. So thank you so very much. And of course, I want to remind you that there is an infinite source available to everyone. It is there for each who seek it, no matter their race, their gender, or even their religion. Believe what you may, but you should know that the source of the universe is also the source of each one of us. Therefore, the principle supporting the stars is the principle supporting and available to each of us. As I declare this statement in the first person, I am declaring it for all. I am open and receptive to this divine living principle. Father, Mother, God, I am grateful. This is my truth. And as I accept it, so it becomes, and all is well, and well indeed. Today's poem, Silent Strong Dad by Karen K. Boyer. He never looks for praises. He's never one to boast. He just goes on quietly working for those he loves the most. His dreams are seldom spoken. His wants are very few. And most of the times his worries will go unspoken too. He's there, a firm foundation through all our storms of life, a sturdy hand to hold on to in times of strife and stress. A true friend we can turn to when times are good or bad. One of our greatest blessings, the man that we call Dad. Happy Father's Day. Recently, as we rode through various neighborhoods, we noticed that some of the houses had American flags on display. Now, later, I thought that one day my family will have my American flag representing my service to this country. But more than that, I reflected on the fact that I have in possession mother's flag presented to our family as a symbol to his service to this country. After additional deliberation, I remembered that families of two of my uncles through marriage, as well as the families of two blood uncles, also received flags. When I include my great-grandfather, on my mother's side, along with my step-pops and my childhood best friend and brother from another mother, Flags signifying service to this country, this United States of America, are abound. I am aware that there are family lineages of service to this country that go back way beyond my granddad. Some white and some African American. But today is about a bigger point. The point being the history of racism in the midst of the willingness to serve in World War I, in World War II, in Korea, and in Vietnam. Not just the racism encountered while serving, but the continuation of that sickness when coming back to the country we served. Let me be clear here. I'm not speaking of individual aspects. I've had some wonderful interracial experiences. I have a spiritual brother and mentor that could not be any more special to me. I'm speaking of the systematic racist sickness that persists in this land of the free and the home of the brave. Which leads me to the next observation. Earlier this week on one of the cable shows, one of the more liberal political shows, the host asked her African American panel what they would like to see embracing and celebrating Juneteenth. Now the members on the panel, they expressed their opinion, and the host basically said that she hoped that the nation would come to appreciate the importance of this new national day. A day for recognizing an aspect of this country's history. This country's history. Now, metaphysically, imagination is the mind power to shape and form thoughts. The mind power to shape and form thoughts. I think it's fair to say that none of the war veterans I mentioned earlier were using their mind power to form thoughts of the racism they would encounter if they were fortunate enough to return physically whole from their particular war zone. I don't think that was part of their imagination. See, none of us form thoughts describing a people so decadent and morally bankrupt that their decision to withhold the announcement of freedom to a particular group of previously enslaved people would be delayed 2 years after they had been legally freed. Or that they would maintain a false idea of pseudo-superiority over men of a different race that also served to keep this country free. I don't believe that was in our imagination. We didn't form those thoughts. As one is concerned for their life, see, those are not the images, those are not the thoughts, those are not the idea that one holds in their consciousness, not at all. Spoiler alert, humanity is one. Spoiler alert, humanity, and if you're human, you're part of humanity, no matter how decadent you might be, no matter how bankrupt you might be, no matter how down on your luck you might be, no matter how superior you think you are, humanity is one. And that's a truth that requires more acceptance than imagination. More acceptance that humanity is one than imagining this wonderful world where we're all. It's more of acceptance than imagination. But we can use our imagination. We can use our imagination power. We can use it to create thought images that promote the idea of acceptance and use that as an energy that will move throughout this country and the planet. Acceptance of humanity. Wow. As we participate in generating this idea of acceptance, we each become spiritual fathers to the idea of expressed and experienced racial equality. As we continue imagination of acceptance, we become the father of that thought, and if that thought catches to push forward a consciousness of racial equality, we can take credit for being part of the energy that moves that into reality. Well, we're talking about what? A triple play, right? Triple play. Father's Day, Juneteenth, imagination being the principle of the month. So as I close out today, so you can get to whatever you're doing for this wonderful Father's Day, I want to touch on each one of those. See, if you have ever given guidance to a child in need of direction, you have performed the task of a father. Be proud. No matter your ethnicity, if you have had a thought and taken positive action to improve the status of a person of color, you have helped move the needle toward equality. Be proud. If you recognize the reality of the multicultural nation of this country, the nature of this country, and support that reality. So you see it, you see what's happening, you see this country is multicultural, multicolored, and you support that reality, you come to peace with that reality. The power of your thoughts give strength to the truth, focus of Juneteenth. Be proud. Wow. I want you out there, happy Father's Day. I want to say to each and every one of you out there, happy Juneteenth. And I want to remind you to unleash your power of imagination to create a better world, starting today, starting right now. Thank you so much for celebrating this combination of special recognition with us today at Unity of Chicago South. Until next time, this is Reverend R. Ken saying, Namaste, go in peace, and push peace out.